Hello guys and welcome to today's daily puzzle, Johan's Flying Circus. Let's get right to it. So what do I see? Well, I see that we have a pawn over here that is ready to promote. However, once it does so, they can use their rook to counter it or even their queen. So that pawn at the moment isn't too strong. Were it not for our rook over here that can actually, once the pawn is out of its way, give a discovered check on the king. And while they deal with the discovered check, we would still be having a promoted pawn. Now, obviously, if they use their rook to take our rook, preventing the discovered check, they still have their queen looking right at our promoted pawn, meaning that we don't have the immediate means of using it. Because sure, we can eliminate the queen at that point, but they can avenge it, after which we have to deal with that, because we can't simply go for the knight, because then their rook can intervene, and stuff like that. But we have some other forcing moves, namely being to move our queen over to the e7 square, because sure, the king can either take or evade. However, if it decides to evade, well, then we can simply move our queen over under cover of our pawn to deliver checkmate over there, meaning that it is basically forced to take our queen if it doesn't want to lose on the spot. And once it does take our queen, we can move our pawn forward, giving the check that we previously didn't want to. Why? Well, because now we can under-promote for a double check, meaning that they can't simply only deal with the knight, and with the double check, meaning that the king has to move, it can only move to one space now, because our knight over here has the other exit covered, and the rook obviously has all the other exits covered. Now, this being the case, how can we finish up this game? Well, ideally we could move our rook over here under cover of the knight to deliver checkmate. Sadly though, this rook at the moment is pinned to our king by their rook. But luckily for us, we have one of their pieces pinned to their king, being their queen by our bishop. And as such, we can move our knight over to this square, delivering a check for checkmate. There we go. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and hopefully see you next time. Bye.